put off your phones on silent mode. No disturbances, please. Thank you. I'm Toastmaster Siona, the Sergeant at Arms. Welcome you, fellow Toastmasters and guests, to the 25th meeting of the Vasco Toastmasters Club. At Toastmasters, we do a number of things. We are a group of people from all walks of life. It's important that everyone feels included and everyone feels at home. So whenever we speak, we ensure that we do not hurt the sentiments of others, and so we refrain from speaking about sex, politics, and religion. We respect everybody's efforts who have prepared themselves for this meeting. So it would be good to have your videos on, but do not distract the speakers. Put off your video if you have to step out, or if you see a speaker with lower bandwidth. I would urge you to encourage the speakers by using the reaction button or by unmuting yourself. Let's begin by reminding ourselves of the mission. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce the meeting open. I would like to introduce an extremely energized and motivated person, eager to receive and give feedback to take the club to a greater height. Are you ready to support him? Yes? No? Thank you? Sorry?
Yes.
Then unmute yourself, put on your video, those who have not yet, and put your hands together, make some noise to welcome to the frame our Mr. President, Toastmaster Abrar. Over to you, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Siona. Welcome to the 25th meeting of Vasco Toastmasters Club. A very good evening to one and all. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization which propels the members in the direction of self-education and communication. It's been 1 year that we have chartered, and this is our 25th meeting. I welcome you all. Before we go ahead, can we hear from our guests, Toastmasters who are here? Toastmaster Akshay, maybe in a line or two, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. This is Toastmaster Akshay from Goa YMCA Toastmasters Club. And apart from Toastmaster, I'm doing my master's in English from Goa University. So the small introductions from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. We are pleased to have you. Can we now hear from our distinguished Toastmaster, Toastmaster Kedar?
Thank you, everyone. I've been in Toastmasters since 2006. I was also the area director for South Goa a couple of years back. I now work as a professor at the college in Ponda. So I look forward to attending your meeting. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kedar, for joining us. Now let's dive right into our meeting. We have our next Toastmaster, Toastmaster Shivani Keni, who will now join us and take the meeting forward. Toastmaster Shivani, she's a psychologist by profession, who had once asked me not to think about pink zebra. I can see those smiles right there, and now everyone is thinking about it. Toastmaster Shivani, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, President Toastmaster Abrar. Before we start, I want everyone to unmute themselves and give a big round of applause for Silver Jubilee meeting of Vasco Toastmasters Club. Thank you. It takes tremendous efforts from all the members to come together and to make a successful meeting. People of different personalities come together to work and to make a meeting. Hence, for my today's topic, hence the theme for today's meeting is persona. The word itself comes from the word personality. Okay? Persona in Latin means a mask. Back in the time, in Greek theaters, actors wore different masks to adapt to different roles and different characters. Hence, the audience could not associate them to one character. Well, in today's time, we wear an invisible mask to adapt to different social roles. Here, PMOD Shivani again. Interesting part of persona is we are flexible enough to change it anytime and in no time and space. We can easily adapt to different personas. Now to important characteristics of adapting the different personas. First, we need to give 100% in whichever persona we are wearing right now. And second, don't lose your original personality while adapting to different personas. These are the two things we need to consider while changing. Most common personas we adapt to are either the social roles, professional roles, or the personal roles. When we are at home, we have a persona of a mother. When I'm at work, I may have a persona of a counselor. When I'm with my friends, I may have a jolly, bubbly friend persona. So our personas keeps changing in every situation, and with every new challenge, we have a different persona. Wearing the persona of TMOD, it is my duty to take you through the meetings, to guide you throughout the meeting for today's meeting. Before we start, let me introduce you how the Toastmasters meetings generally go. We have 3 sections in Toastmasters meeting. We have the prepared speech section where members will prepare a speech and present it in front of us. Then we have the table topic section, which is the impromptu section, the fun segment of Toastmasters Club. Then we have the evaluation section, where the general evaluator will give us constructive feedback on the whole meeting. All right. Before we start with the meeting, I want to propose the changes which are made in the agenda, and I want a proposer and a seconder to adapt to the new motion. All right. So firstly, we have 1 speaker for today's meeting instead of 2. And secondly, the role of general evaluator is being executed by Toastmaster Anthony instead of Toastmaster Rishabh. Can I request a proposal to propose this?
I propose.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal. May I request a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley. Now that we have adapted to the changes in agenda, let's begin with the meeting. To help me with my role, my persona TMOD, I have 3 role players who have also taken 3 different personas to help me or to help guide us in this meeting. Let me call each one of them to explain their roles. First, let me call Toastmaster Abrar, the president of Vasco Toastmasters Club. Wearing the persona of grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Abrar is smoothly shifting between different personas in his life. A businessman, a responsible son, and the president of Vasco Toastmasters Club. He is doing all the roles very effectively. I wish him good luck for his new roles and his upcoming roles. Over to you, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as a grammarian, it is my duty to look out for the good and not so good usage of English language. I will also introduce the word of the day because Toastmaster encourages the learning of new words so that you could expand your vocabulary. The word of the day for today's meeting is intriguing. For example, it's an adjective which means interesting, a synonym as interesting. For example, Shivani Keni is an interesting personality. Vasco Toastmaster Club has intriguing meetings. So now what you can do is you can use as Shivani Keni is an intriguing personality. Vasco Toastmasters Club has intriguing meetings and intriguing themes. So I will make note of all the good and not so good grammar, and I will also make note of all the people who will be using the word of the day. I now hand it over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar, for that word of the day. Now help me welcome the our counter for today's meeting. Wearing the persona of our counter, we have Toastmaster Siona. Well, the reason I am in Toastmasters is because of Toastmaster Siona. Toastmaster Siona wore the persona of mentor and guided me to take different roles in Toastmasters. And I am forever grateful for her motivation. Because of that, I am here today. Over to you, our counter Toastmaster Siona.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, once again. Due to bad weather, many of us are facing network issues. It is really frustrating when we cannot hear the speaker or when we are told we sound like robots. However, this is beyond our control. This is exactly what happens with our speeches. When we use the filler words like, you see, you know, I mean, and even with long pregnant pauses. This makes the speech not very pleasant to listen to and is not effective at all with its message. Today, I am in control to make note and report when called upon. Let's have an awesome session and not an awful session. Over to you, Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you, our counter Toastmaster Siona. Wearing the persona of timer, we have Toastmaster Meenal. Well, Toastmaster Meenal has different shades to her persona. But I guess the shade of enthusiasm remains constant in all her personas. I am eagerly looking forward to meeting Toastmaster Meenal and experiencing her persona of excitement in person. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. For today, my dear Toastmasters and guests, yours truly adorns the persona of a clock. Now, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say clock? Time. The only thing they say that's constant is change, but change occurs only with time. So whether you're giving a speech, you're making a presentation, whether you are meeting someone for the first time, you have to realize that there's a certain amount of time that you should not exceed to both the person. In today's meeting, I will be keeping a track of the time used. And if I may share my screen and show you the timings, please confirm if my screen is visible.
Yep.
When the speech begins, for the prepared speech sections, the time that the qualifying speaker will need for the card to turn green is 5 minutes. At 6 minutes, the card will turn yellow. And at 7 minutes, it will turn red. And stay so for 30 seconds and more until the speaker finishes. However, for the table topic section of 1 to 2 minutes, the card will turn green on 1 minute. It will turn yellow on 1 minute 30 seconds. And at 2 minutes, it will turn red and wait until 2.30 or if the speaker exceeds. Now, why do we keep such timings? Is because less is more. Let's just leave it at that. And your persona of the clock today will help you with it. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meeman. With this, we finish the minor role player, that is the timer, R counter, and the grammarian. Now let's move to the first section of Toastmasters meeting. That is the prepared speech section. Each member in Toastmasters chooses an educational path. Each path has certain number of projects that the member has to complete. The prepared speech section gives the space for members to complete his path. Hence, for today's prepared speech section, we have one speaker, Toastmaster Ashley. Toastmaster Ashley always wears the persona of a friend in front of me. He is investing his time to be the best father to his daughter. I'm sure he's imbibing the qualities of his father in his persona. Before I call Toastmaster Ashley, may I request his speech evaluator, DTM Kedar, to read out his speech objectives.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. My speaker, Toastmaster Ashley, is speaking from the presentation mastery part, level 3, project 1. And the title of his speech is Moral Suasion. And the purpose statement as given in the manual says that the purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. The speaker may choose to appeal to emotions, ethics, logic in his or her speech, and it may be humorous, informational, or any style that the member chooses. I look forward to listening to your speech and evaluating it, Ashley. Best of luck.
Thank you, DTM Kedar. Toastmaster Ashley, can you check your audio?
Am I audible?
Yes. Moral suasion, Toastmaster Ashley. Toastmaster Ashley, moral suasion.
26 January 2010 was the first time I ever walked up on stage for my public speaking. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and everyone present here, good evening to you. Has it ever occurred to you that you're walking into a social function and suddenly somebody comes up to you with a microphone and says, you have to speak? There is no time for you to think, and by the time you think, they have already given you the mic to your face, and you don't know, you're in this position where you don't know what to say. That is exactly what happened to me on 26 January 2010. I was going to a church social function. As I walked in, I heard my best friend calling out my name to come up on stage and be the compere. Can you believe it? In 5 minutes, she wanted me to speak. I had no clue what to do. I just went up on stage and everybody was looking at me as if I had turned up naked on stage. And then finally, it was my turn to speak. I somehow managed. And now, when I think of it, I don't know what to say, what the speech was all about. Ladies and gentlemen, few days back, as I was driving to work, I came across this podcast. And in the podcast, they were speaking about moral suasion. Moral suasion has three parts. First part is ethos or ethos. The second part is pathos. And the third part is logos. Now, let us apply all these three concepts to what happened to me on that day. Now, the first part is ethos. It deals with the thought process. You have thoughts, I have thoughts, we all have thoughts. And the only thought in my friend's head at that moment was that Ashley is a teacher. He speaks to students, he will be easily able to speak on stage. But this friend of mine failed to realize that even the teacher requires preparation. That in class, we speak integrally to 30 students. But there I was looking at 500 eyes looking at me. I didn't know what to do. The second part, which deals with pathos, this is emotions. The only emotion that I can think that was in my friend's mind at that time was our friendship. She knew Ashley is going to do anything for friendship. So she pushed me onto the stage. And the final part, that is logos. The word logic comes from the word logos. So logos or logic has only two answers, true or false. The logic that my friend applied at that moment was that Ashley speaks very well over the phone. He speaks very well in the circle. So I am sure he will go up on stage and speak to 500 people. Well, after that, I started getting a lot of offers for events, for weddings. They were calling me as the master of ceremonies. For that, I had time. Now, suddenly, I realized that this was something very intriguing to me. So I started preparing. Now, preparation was I would read books, I would call my friends and ask them for humorous jokes, or maybe surf the internet. But deep down inside, I would feel not really happy with what is going on. I'm not getting really prepared with what is happening. So, about 7 months back, I came across Toastmasters International. And at Toastmasters, I realized that a speech was not only words, it was something more than words. It was how you structure your words. How do you use interesting phrases? And at that moment, I realized that this is how you build your confidence. It really helped me in my personal life also. Maybe at work, if I had to express something or communicate a message, may it be a good one or may it be an improving one, suddenly I had this confidence to go and face everybody. And now when I walk up to the stage, I walk very confidently to do my job as a compere. Well, here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I know all of us know that Toastmasters International, there is a subscription that we all need to pay. And many of us are finding it difficult due to the pandemic that we've just had. But here is a thought I would want to leave you with. And that is the best gift that you can give yourself is investing in yourself. I have invested in myself by doing so. And believe me, this is one of the best investments from which I have got total returns. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley. Let's have a minute of silence to give feedback to Toastmaster Ashley's speech. Timer, can you notify after 1 minute is over?
One minute's up.
Thank you, timer. After the prepared speech section, we have the fun element of Toastmasters Club. That is the table topics. To take the table topics ahead, I have a comparatively new Toastmaster, Toastmaster Usha. Toastmaster Usha is putting in efforts to be the best version of herself. And today she has taken a new and challenging role for herself, the table topic master. And I'm sure table topic master, Toastmaster Usha, will do her best in this role. Over to you, Toastmaster Usha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. Hello, Toastmasters. Can you hear me?
Yes, Usha, we can hear you.
Hello, Toastmasters. Welcome to Table Topic session. Before I begin, let me explain you the purpose of Table Topic Master. The purpose of Table Topic Master is to facilitate table topics, where each members and guests will be given an opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. I will be introducing a topic to you and call on the speaker. The speaker will be given 2 minutes to speak on the topic. As you know, today's meeting theme is persona. Persona is a Latin word which means mask, or you can say a personality. So what I am going to do is, I am giving you a persona and you have to justify it. Isn't that is interesting? Okay, so let's begin. Anyone wanted to volunteer before I call? Anyone? Okay. So no one is coming forward. So I'll call Toastmaster Shona if you wanted to participate. Toastmaster Shona.
Yes, Toastmaster Usha.
Thank you for being the first participant. Toastmaster Shona, I wanted you to imagine as if you're living your childhood again. So your persona is your childhood. Over to you, Toastmaster Shona.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha. I don't want to speak. That's exactly what I used to do when I was a little girl. Because when I was in probably first or second standard, I was forced to participate in one act. And my mother always tells me I was like a parrot at home, all ready to participate. But when I came up on the stage, I looked at everyone, I paused, and I walked on the stage. And I hugged my mother and I told her, why didn't you tell me that there would be so many people? And never after that, I walked up the stage until I was introduced to Toastmasters. And now what I feel is I want to tap all the children into when they are, in that age group, to tell them that it's never too late to start. It's okay to make mistakes. I hope all the children have a better childhood to be better speakers as they grow up. Over to you, Toastmaster Usha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shona. I'm blessed to hear you. That was a sublime speech. So without wasting time, let's move forward. Still, anyone wanted to volunteer or should I call?
Yes, I want to volunteer. This is Toastmaster Akshay here.
Okay.
Toastmaster Usha, this is Toastmaster. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Yes.
So, okay, fine. Let's begin. Okay, Toastmaster Akshay, I want you to imagine as if you have become your best professor in your college. How would you define your personality? Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Could you repeat the topic, please?
Your persona is being the best professor in your college.
Being best professor.
Yes, best professor.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you.
Good morning, students. Today, I'm here as a professor. My name is Professor Akshay Bhangle, and I recently completed my DET, and today I'm here before you. My hobbies are singing, listening songs, and interacting with people. I want to check your memory here. I want to test your public speaking skills. Can someone volunteer? I have to tell you now. Those who volunteers first, I will give you free dinner today. No one is interested. You don't want to become an intrigued person in your life. No problem. I'm introducing one platform to each and every one of you. This is about Toastmasters. As a professor, I'd like to give you one suggestion. Please join the Toastmasters. Here, you're going to develop your communication and leadership skills. Not that, but also you're going to interact with people and you can take up a role. Not only that, you're going to participate with a contest and you will going to win the world championship. Now you tell me, students, what to do. Will you join Toastmasters? Yes. I'll see you tomorrow and please carry your books with you. This is your Professor Akshay signing off. Bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. That was a wonderful speech.
May I know the timing, please?
Timer.
Toastmaster Akshay, the time will be revealed to you at the end during my report.
Okay.
So let's move forward. Anyone wanted to volunteer? Okay, I'll call. So I would like Toastmaster Anthony to participate. Toastmaster Anthony.
Yes, Table Topics Master Usha.
Thank you for participating. So Toastmaster Anthony, I give you the persona of being the best president for a day. So how you're going to define it? Over to you, Toastmaster Anthony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha, for the topic. If I am the best president for a day, first thing I'm going to do is go and speak to the other presidents, because I'm sure there'll be many other presidents for the day, right? Because I'm the best one amongst them. I'm going to sit around with them and speak about how do we improve the happiness index of our citizens. It's high time now that we take them out of the situation wherein they're becoming workaholic, wherein their work from home is causing more trouble than I think the work itself. I would discuss with the other presidents about what would their indication and role be in order to safeguard the happiness in the house. You see, sometimes when everybody is working from home, and especially using internet, we have got major issues that happen in terms of using the Wi-Fi. It's quite intriguing to see how everybody today is in need of a Wi-Fi than any other resource. So Toastmaster Usha, I will discuss with the other presidents and I will prove to them that I am the best president for the day is because I focused on the happiness factor, the happiness that one gets when they are with like-minded people, such as a platform like Toastmasters, but at the same time, other issues, other elements that make people happy. Because you see, life is not only about work, work, and work. It's much more. If you're not yet intrigued about it, take back this message that one has to smile and sail through the storm. Over to you, Table Topics Master Usha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. Okay, let's move forward. Any guest wanted to participate? Okay, fine. So let me only choose it. Toastmaster Jayanti, would you like to try it? Toastmaster Jayanti?
Okay. I have very poor network on my end, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure, no issues. So, Toastmaster Jayanti, yes, I give you the persona of being kite. You must have seen kite flying in the sky. So, how do you feel? How would you describe if you become the kite? Over to you, Toastmaster Jayanti.
One day I woke up and I realized I had become worse. I couldn't look in the mirror. I had become two-dimensional. Oh no, I did have a third dimension, but I had no features that would call me a woman. And what was that? A long tail, prickly tail, and who's holding on to it? So somebody else is now directing me. Oh my God, I knew all my decisions in life were going terribly, but this is possibly the worst outcome. I have become a kite. I have a tail and something holding me and joining me to another person. Who is this guy? And where is he taking me? Oh, no, 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 don't throw me from the roof. All right. Oh my God. I love this air. This is beautiful. I'm almost flying. This is wonderful. I knew I could do this. My life has always led me to take risks, and it's finally paying off. How many other people can do this? This is definitely going on my Toastmasters profile. I can now fly, and I'm so beautiful. These colors, oh wow, they shine like anything. This is amazing. What is that? Is that another kite? I hate you, kite. Look at me. You're just another nonsensical object, whereas I have transformed into this beautiful peacock-like feathery. Oh no, what is it? I'm falling. What happened? Why is my flight? Oh no, my flight has stopped. I'm falling. I'm drifting. Oh, please, you were holding me so lovingly and caressing me, and now I'm stuck on this tree. I'm back to square one. I have lasted for a few seconds, and now I'm back to where I had started from. A nobody to a no kite. God, I couldn't even soar like a kite. I couldn't even win there. Oh, there is a child who's going to retrieve me. Ah, looks like kites get second opportunities. This is wonderful. I think I'll remain a kite. Human beings are boring. They are all inside their houses. I have seen the whole world now. This is wonderful. I prefer being a kite. A kite can soar, where a human being cannot. What is that? Is that a flight? No, I want to be in a flight. Yes. No more a kite. I'd like to be a flight. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Jayanti. That was a wonderful. So without wasting time, let's move forward. Anyone wanted to volunteer? Okay, fine. I would like to call toast our guest, Tanvi. Would you like to try it?
Sure. Yes, I would like to try it.
Okay. Thank you, Tanvi. Suppose I give you a situation. Suppose one day you woke up and you see yourself in mirror and you see a face of Joker. How you're going to react? Over to you.
Could you just repeat the topic?
So your topic is suppose one day you woke up and you see yourself in mirror and you see a face of Joker. How you're going to react to it? So your persona is a face of Joker. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanvi.
Okay. That's not me. I cannot be a joker. My jokes are pathetic. I probably look like a clown who's not funny. I can't crack any jokes. What am I going to do with this face? I can't go to the office with this face. What am I supposed to do? I can't go out like this. I can't go to office like this. I can't wipe it off my face. So what am I supposed to do with the face of Joker? Maybe I'll just scare kids. Some kids like love jokers. Others, they are scared of the joker. I think joker is weird and I don't like joker. I don't want to be a joker, but I am a joker. What am I going to do? I have absolutely no idea and I'm lost as always. Thank you and over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Tanvi. That was a nice one. So I would like to call our guest, Manish. Would you like to try it?
Usha, you mean Toastmaster Manish Unnithan?
Yes, Manish. Is he there?
Hello, I'm there. Am I audible?
Yes, audible. So Toastmaster Manish, who is your favorite actor?
Favorite character?
Actor.
Actor?
Yes.
Tough question. The topic is that my favorite actor?
No, I'm asking you, who's your favorite actor? You got me?
Hello?
Toastmaster Manish, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. So your persona is you being your favorite actor. Over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
I would let go this option.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I'll give you another topic. Suppose you're born in Ambani's family. So how you're going to feel? So your persona is being born in Ambani's family. Over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and the guests who have graced this occasion. The topic for me is being born in Ambani's family. I would at the outset consider myself lucky to be born in Ambani's family, primarily because when it comes to industrialization and specifically corporate industrialization, Ambani's were the ones who bought the concept of shareholding and sharing the profits with the community for a wholesome gain. Considering that, I would be very proud that the ancestor in the form of Dhirubhai Ambani was a part of the family legacy that I would be into. When I think on the personality, on the person that I would be considering being a member of Ambani family, I would be more responsible. And when I'm saying responsible from both wealth creation and also from the way I portray myself in the public, because there would always be a lens and also a check on what is being done, what is not being done. This also would add a lot of responsibility, thereby compromising on privacy matters, and certainly that nobody likes. With regard to activities that I would like to do, which the current Ambanis might be doing but not displaying, would be in the form of contribution. Overall, despite a wealthy thing, I would still prefer being born as Manish Unnithan and probably do the same things again, correct the mistakes that I have done to make me a better person. Thank you. Thank you, Usha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish. That was wonderful. I would like our DTM Sridhar to participate.
Toastmaster Usha, I'm anyway going to speak for the evaluation. If somebody else would like a chance, please give it to me.
Okay, thank you. Our guest, Prashant, would you like to participate? Okay, no. Okay. Our guest, Sipli, would you like to participate? Yes, Urvi, Kini, would you like to participate?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. I would like to give you a persona of your being your favorite character, favorite actor. Urvi Kini, over to you, Urvi Kini.
Can you please repeat?
Your persona is being your favorite actor. Over to you, Urvi Kini.
Okay, so my favorite actor is Paul Beasley. He was from Vampire Diaries. And morning and okay, so media standing out. What happened? Oh wait, did I say something wrong outside? Oh no, I just realized it's just my life. I just get out and oh, I'm an actor now. Every place I go, everything I do, I will have to always think about what I have to say, how I have to behave. Everything is so boring. I thought being an actor was nice. You'd be famous. Everything would be so much of fun. But no, oh, it's not that nice anymore. Oh yeah, everybody wants to take your autograph and take pictures with you. That's nice. But you just don't, somehow this life looks so fake and I don't want this life anymore. So being an actor, I think it is nice and fun to an extent until you realize how fake everything is. And it is a huge social envelope that you're living in. And deep inside, maybe it's not something I would want to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Taima, do we have time for two more?
Yes, Toastmaster Usha, we can take about one more.
Okay. I would like our guest, M. D'Souza, to participate. Would you like to try it? So let's move forward. I would like to call Toastmaster Ashley to participate. Toastmaster Ashley, are you there?
Yes, Usha, I'm there. Usha, I've just delivered a speech. Can we invite guests? Toastmaster Usha?
Yes.
Yeah, can we invite guests? Because I've just delivered a speech.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Usha, there is guest Blossom. Could you invite her?
Yeah, our guest Blossom, would you like to participate?
Hello. Okay.
Thank you for participating. So your topic is, suppose you must, your topic is being the Mother Earth.
Okay, Mother Earth.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, to begin with, if I was a Mother Earth for the day, I would see to that my greenery is always maintained. I would see to that the oceans which are there, it's always blue in color and not full of plastic. Maybe I would have created some power within myself to remove all the plastic and all the dirty matter which comes in the ocean, where I don't have to depend on human beings that one day they will come and clean it for me. I would also be like so happy to protect myself in a different way where I'm not dependent on human beings, man-made things. I would always be happy. I would grow myself into different trees and different flowers every day. I would blossom every night and every day. And being Mother Earth would not only be easy for me, it would definitely be difficult. So I will make sure that whatever I do to myself for the day, it's always maintained permanently and no man can destroy it. Thank you.
Thank you. Samar, is there time for anyone?
No, we're almost closing the time. We can wrap up.
Okay. Since we have come to an end of this table topic session, I would like to thank each and everyone for encouraging and for participating. That was a wonderful session. Over to you, Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Usha. All the personas were intriguing, very interesting. Thank you so much. Minal, could you confirm if all the table topics have qualified speakers?
Yes, Toastmaster Shivani, all the table topics speakers have qualified. Would you like me to read their names?
Yes, please.
We have Toastmaster Siona, Toastmaster Akshay, Toastmaster Anthony, guest Jayanti. We have Toastmaster Tanvi, Toastmaster Manish, future to be almost there, Toastmaster Urvi, and guest Blossom.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Minal. Zoom Master, can we have the poll for the best table topic speaker?
Yes. Here we go, Toastmaster Shivani, with the polls.
The polls are on. Please vote for the best table topic speaker. Zoom Master, is it done?
Okay, closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley. With this, I come to the end of my role, end of my persona of TMOD for today's meeting. But don't worry, I will not remove my persona. I will have this persona till the end of the meeting. Next section of today's meeting is the evaluation section. To continue with the evaluation section, we have a general evaluator who will give us feedback on the whole meeting, and he will invite the tag team and the speech evaluator to give his evaluation. In Toastmasters, we value evaluation a lot because we are here to learn, we are here to get feedback and improve for next time. Help me welcome our area director, Toastmaster Anthony. Toastmaster Anthony wearing the persona of general evaluator. Toastmaster Anthony says that he is looking forward to wear the persona of a thought leader, where I think Toastmaster Anthony already has all qualities of a good leader, already has all leadership qualities. I think he needs to give me that persona for a while. Over to you, Toastmaster Anthony.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Shivani, for those generous words. And greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I stand before you as a general evaluator. Now, in the last year, we've had multiple exams, right? Or I would say tests for students, especially those who are attending school and colleges. But what happened eventually? Some of them did not really take an exam, but they managed to pass. Now, in doing so, many of them got the push they needed, but many of them really missed on the evaluation that one needs. Similarly, in Toastmaster setting, we have a session on evaluation. Evaluation, like they say, is the breakfast of champions. And general evaluation entails looking at the meeting right from the time it was decided to have a meeting till the execution of the meeting. Right from the start, I've been taking note of the good practices, challenges that the meeting and the club officers have faced in conducting this meeting. And this is my time to give you all that feedback. However, before getting into my feedback, what I have noted about the proceedings of today's session, I would like to call upon a speech evaluator. For those who were present when the speech was happening, there was a speech evaluator who evaluates the speaker based on the objectives of the speaker's path. Today, we had distinguished Toastmaster Kedar, who is going to deliver the evaluation of our speaker, Toastmaster Meenal. I hand over the control to you, distinguished Toastmaster Kedar.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Anthony. My speaker, Toastmaster Ashley, could I have you? Yes, thank you so much. All right. So, Toastmaster Ashley, whatever I say today has to be taken in the context of the time that you spent on your speech today. All right. So, I had the Toastmaster Meenal very graciously send me the time of 5 minutes and 47 seconds, and you could have spoken up to 7.5 minutes, okay, before you got disqualified. So keep that in context and maybe take my feedback, go back, watch your recordings and see where you could have used that time more effectively, all right? And I'm going to focus on what you excelled at, what can you work on, and how can you challenge yourself. But there are a few things that I will talk, and then you can kind of bucket them into these three. Your opening was fantastic. Okay, you gave us a time frame, 26th January 2010. Okay, so that immediately puts us in a time frame, you know, many years back, 11 years back, a younger Ashley, if I may say that. And what pressure you must be having when people called you to speak. Okay, you had a question. Okay, that was very intriguing. You had a question. You asked people, has it ever occurred to you? Okay, you had at the beginning told me that you would want me to pay attention to some of your voice modulation. Okay, so there will be some lines that you can probably challenge yourself and see how you can change it. When somebody asks you, you have to speak, right? Was it a command? Was it a request? Okay, there's your chance, okay, to use some voice modulation. You have used humor, but only once, okay? I turned up naked on the stage. That's how you felt when you went on the stage, right? So try and see if you can use more of this humor, all right? In the body of the speech, you basically told us about ethos, pathos, logos. So that's very good, okay? And that people should visit Toastmasters. Now, where can you improve yourself? You tend to clasp your hands, okay? That's natural for many speakers. You are not using your pauses effectively, okay? Do it more, okay? It is challenging, but try and use your pauses more effectively. For example, they were calling me for master of ceremonies, right? You could probably, you know, slap your head at that point, right? Those were your reactions. My God, you're calling me for going to pause as I walked up to the stage, right? So a pause can be very, very powerful. So make sure you start using your pauses. Otherwise, you have excellent content. Writing is not a challenge for you. The pace of the speech was good, can be better. Small things. I shouldn't be nitpicking, but you know, were you speaking intriguingly to 30 students, or were you speaking to 30 intriguing students? All right. Overall, you had a message. Best gift is investing in yourself. And so with that, Toastmaster Ashley, I wish you the best for all your future projects. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kedar, for your evaluation. We will go to another set of evaluations that have been noted about each and every speaker who has taken the screen space today. And to start with the reports of the role players, May I invite the timer for today, Toastmaster Meenal, with her report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Anthony. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay. The meeting started on time and wrapping up with the table topic session proceeding towards the general evaluation, we are currently on time as well. The Sergeant at Arms took 2.19 seconds. The President covered up most of his address in the limited time of 5 minutes. The Toastmaster of the day, throughout the sections, has maintained the decorum and adhered to the time. Our speaker for today, Toastmaster Ashley, took 5 minutes 47 seconds, as also mentioned by his evaluator, Toastmaster Kedar, who took 3 minutes 22 seconds. All the table topic speakers were within the time limit and finished before 2 minutes 30 seconds. I think that's about it. The persona of a clock shall be ticking, but a little slower. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Anthony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal, for the report. I would now go on to the R counter for her report. May I request Toastmaster Siona to present her notings? Toastmaster Siona, you're muted. You may open. Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. The weather seemed to be okay, but I had terrible time for a little while. I lost connection, but I managed to take down some notes. If you can see my screen, this is my report. So each one can see for themselves. I think I'll make it a little smaller. Can you see? So you all have got stars.
I am the king, I can see that.
I'm not going to crown you our king or our queen, but probably you can see for yourself and try to improve the next time. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Over to you, Toastmaster Anthony. Toastmaster Anthony?
We can't hear you, Anthony.
Yeah, is it better? Hello?
Yeah.
Thank you. May I now go to our grammarian, Toastmaster Abrar, for his report, please?
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. It was a pleasure listening to everyone. Wonderful speeches, great attempts. I could not find any bad usage, or rather, I would start with good usage. Something what one of our Toastmaster used was intrigued, which is a verb form of intrigue. And you are caressing me was one of the words which we learned today. Caress basically means to touch somebody or something in a gentle way. Not so good language. Instead of using picken the kite, we should use pick the kite. When it comes to word of the day, we had a Toastmaster Ashley who used it once, Toastmaster Akshay used it once, Toastmaster Anthony used it once, Toastmaster Shivani used it once, and DTM Kedar used it thrice. He used it in its verb form as well as the adjective form. That's all from me, General Evaluator. Over to you, Anthony Gomes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar, for the grammarian's report. May I request the Zoom master to launch a poll for the voting of the best minor role player. And the reports that we've seen were from the minor role players, that's the R counter, grammarian, and the timer. So I request the participants to kindly vote for their preferences before we go on to the general evaluation. Zoom master?
Yes.
Thank you.
The polls are on. Closing in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, it's my time. It's my time to tell you what I have noted right from the start. Firstly, if you could just put on your videos, it would be really nice for this brief moment. Can we have all the cameras on, please? If it's possible, I would like to request yes. Thank you. Now, for those who are there, do two things. One is give a pat on your back. All of you, come on, do that. Thank you, and I'll tell you why. And next, clap for yourselves and for everyone, because Wasco meetings are turning 25. This is the 25th meeting, Silver Jubilee, okay? And the pat was for doing a wonderful job in getting the momentum going. So having said this, I would want to mention that the planning of the meeting was really done in advance. The agenda was shared in advance along with the invite and the poster. The poster had necessary information along with the message that went along. Today, when we started, the meeting room opened on time, 6:30 as per the agenda. I must commend on that. Secondly, I got to see the camaraderie that we had when before we started the meeting. Definitely there was a dip, but I think it's a very good hold that the members had, and I must commend you on that. One suggestion would be, if at all there is this awkward silence, probably look out for a round robin, and that could work. However, when we got into the meeting, I think our start was phenomenal. It was quite intriguing to see the way our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Siona, started with banging the gavel. It's quite symbolic to how we start Toastmaster meeting. In fact, even when the oath is taken, the gavel is presented and you take the oath with it. Siona, I must mention that you improvised the script, yet you kept to the essence. And that's my kudos to you, in other words, for doing that. You read out the mission of the club, which is quite necessary, and the introduction of presiding officer. I love the transition. Going to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Abrar, you spoke about the Toastmasters International, what it entails. However, you had some repetition of information there. Nonetheless, you did make a swift attempt to then speak to the guests, the Toastmaster guests who were there, or rather guest Toastmasters who were with us. Your introduction about Toastmaster of the Day, Shivani, was excellent. However, if I could suggest that probably working around with the script, reading it over and over again, so that a swift transition comes within your discourse, that would help you. Next, when our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Shivani, started, what an energetic start that was. Your theatrical explanation could not get any better. It was really great. In fact, when during the meeting, you gave the structure of the meeting for the ones who are new and also for the ones who sometimes tend to forget. You explained the importance of, let's say, the prepared speech section, and then you introduced your introductions of role players was excellent. Now, there are certain areas of improvement, Toastmaster Shivani, that you may want to look at. One is, you could share the agenda in the chat box. You've shared it previously for the ones whose context you have. There are many guests who have come today and they do not have the agenda. Having the agenda allows each and every person to know where we are at in the whole progression of the meeting. This is something general, but what I noted from your presentation is that let us avoid using acronyms like TMOD or TMOD or DTM. How about saying Toastmaster of the Day or Distinguished Toastmaster? It reminds me of Ashley Lobo and Victoria, who's, sorry, I think it's Colin and son, who would say Daddy Toastmaster. So DTM could mean anything if you do not expand it. Yeah. Similarly, another thing I must mention, that the change of agenda was done. You had done it on time previously. In fact, the new agenda that was there had all the changes. So hence, when you have similar kind of changes, it's not required that we pass a motion because there was actually there were no changes, in other words, for the meeting. However, I must mention that the parliamentarian way of adopting the agenda and changing it is something that I really comment on. Another thing is having a script, having the agenda in front of you helps you to tick mark as to what has happened. I'm sure you noticed, and I think that you skipped introducing the general evaluator to explain his role in the start. However, you handled the session very well. To help you, we had the grammarian Toastmaster Abrar. You explained what is expected from you as a grammarian. However, I would have liked it if you had to explain why grammarian. What is the role of the provision of a grammarian into Toastmaster setting? You did have 2 to 3 minutes. Probably you could use that time effectively. If you have a script, practice it and use those 2 to 3 minutes so that we can hear you. Sometimes it becomes very short and it may lose its essence. When you reported your notings, you mentioned about, or you explained the new words which were used or the good words which were used. Also the number of times the word of the day was used. However, I must mention, probably it's the network or another reasons, that there were some members who've used the word of the day more than once. Secondly, let us not escape by saying that there were no bad usage. There was, I have noted many. So it's good. I mean, it's your role, it's your time. We can learn a lot from your observations, right? I'm sure you will keep this in mind for not just this role, henceforth for all the roles. Next, we had our counter, Toastmaster Siona. Toastmaster Siona, you started with the whole drawing parallels between our counter and the RAIN and network. Commendable. You ended when you were giving your explanation of your role with awesome and awful. I think that good play of words, if I could call that, was something that really got my attention, and I'm sure that of many others as well. Your report, at the time of your report, you had a wonderful way of representing, a visual representation of the R's and M's and many other crutch sounds. However, since they were tiny, we could not read it. At the same time, since there are too many, we may look at ours, but how about pointing out the significant ones? Probably there were 1 or 2 who had significant crutch sounds. How about that? And not just highlighting that, but how about giving a way to, or probably giving an opinion on how to avoid it? What can we do? That would really add value to the role that you did exceptionally well anyway. Next, I would like to go to the timer who started. Her start was quite energized. Toastmaster Meenal, you asked a question, you explained the importance of time, you explained the timer cards, you gave the qualifying time. Many times we think we consider that it's people know it, the participants know it, and we tend to miss out. But you explained all that. That was good. I think when there was one of the Toastmasters, one of the participants who was speaking for Table Topics Master, you had to unmute for the auditory indication of time. That did not really work well. However, maybe you could try to type it in the chat so that the member gets it. At the time of your report, I am quite impressed with your report because you gave the time for each role player, time taken by each role player, and also that of the overall meeting. So I think that's something that can get quite banal, but you ensure that it was interesting. So good job there. We will next go to another major role player, that was the Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Usha. Toastmaster Usha, again, a good job first time, but I think you handled it quite well. You explained the duties of a Table Topics Master, but like I said, if you could speak about why Table Topic session, what is the importance of Table Topic session and how it helps the members and for all those who are part or stakeholders to that session, would really add a lot of value. You attributed the topics that you had today to the theme, and when you close the session, you close the session well with a proper ending. If I could give you some suggestions that probably could work in your favor in doing this role again, would be if you could repeat the topic when you give it once, so that if the member hasn't heard it, the person can take time. It also allows the speaker to have time to process and prepare, since it's a table topic. Next is you could reiterate the timings for guests and others, though the timer has done it, but it definitely helps. Also, when you invite guests, probably you could check with the guest if they're okay with speaking. And I did notice that there was confusion in calling out to the guest and the Toastmasters. I wouldn't say it's completely your fault here. However, I would like to request the XCOM. One of them could take charge, if it's not the Zoom master, but one of them, to rename the members. Renaming the members helps. Else we have complications and confusion like this. Thankfully, nobody really got offended. Many times I've seen in meetings when people do get offended. Okay. And yes, if there is a participant who doesn't understand the topic, you could simplify it in other words. So that was with the table topics master. For the ones who had joined us when the evaluation was happening, we had speech evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Kedar. Now you must have seen Kedar doing a wonderful job on giving clarity on what he would evaluate from the speaker. Else it could become again a kind of a general evaluation of the speech. And that again comes from the knowledge of, or rather practice, that one undergoes during the course of their Toastmasters journey. Toastmaster Kedar also used this method that we speak of generally at Toastmasters, that is commend, recommend, and commend, wherein he definitely did not make the speaker feel bad about the mistakes, but at the same time, he added value by adding pointed advice, giving advice that's quite that was needed, and he did it well within the time, as far as I have noticed. So good job there, Toastmaster Kedar. And with that, we have come to the end of the general evaluation session. However, I want you to remember 3 things as a club, 3 things today when you go back. One is work with your mentor and practice every role that you do. 2, remember that all the meeting roles that happen in tandem. They work together, they go parallel. Okay, so ensure that you are working in tandem with the other members. And 3, very simple, let us, whenever we give feedback, let's try to use you could rather than you should. And with this, I hand over the control to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shivani Keni.
Thank you for the wonderful evaluation session, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Anthony. Now, let me hand over the session to the President of Vasco Toastmasters Club, the newly elected President of Vasco Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Abrar. Over to you, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shivani. Before we go ahead, I would just like to thank our immediate past president, Anthony. The list goes on and on and on. I was just writing all the points and we realized that what a wonderful role you've been doing in the past. And we will try our best in order to make note of all the points what you have shared with us and work on it. For the guests who joined a little late, this was our evaluation section, and this was the final part of our meeting. We now move on to the voting. So before we conclude, I would like to launch the major role player, the polls for major role player. Ashley, could you help me with this, please?
Yes, Abrar. It's launched. Okay, closing in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. There are a few people to vote. Please vote, everyone. 1.5 and 1/2 and 0.
Thank you, Ashley. Let's hear from our guest Toastmasters and Toastmasters who are here with us. Toastmaster Jayanti Singh. Guest
Yes,
Toastmaster
Master Abbas,
Jayanti Singh.
yes. I really enjoyed the session, even though I am having a lot of trouble with network. I don't know what the correlation between rain and network is really, but it's quite bad. But it was a very engaging session. I really liked the topics as well. I didn't think I did a good job with the table topic, but it was nice. It's been a long time since I've attended any meeting outside that of my own club. And Toastmaster Anthony is, as a general evaluator, I think did a fantastic job. So did Shivani, and I wish you all very all the best, and congratulations for your 25th meeting. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and if you continue like this, you'll find me as a frequent guest of your club. You'll probably have to shoo me away next time. Okay, we've had enough of it. But this was very good, and I liked the patience with which the table topics was also handled. That was also very patiently done. It was not imposed on anyone. It was very well requested, and I guess we were all very shy, but I liked the approach that the club took. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayanti. Can we now hear from our guests who were here with us? Guest Sybil, how did you find our second meeting?
Good evening, Abrar. In fact, I did not really hear much because I joined in late. I had another meeting scheduled. I just heard the last part of it, wherein I think Anthony was speaking. So I think he did a great job. I did not also hear Shivani. I wanted to, but I'm looking forward to a recorded meeting that I can listen to. So a good job to everyone, and all the best for the future meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Sybil. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to connecting with you after the meeting. We also have our guest, another guest Blossom. Can we hear from you? How did you like the meeting? What was the best part?
Good evening. You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Every time like I join this meeting, it's always, as I said, evening well spent. So I always get to learn something new because there are different speakers out there. So how different people speak. And today, though it was the persona topics were mind blowing. I really enjoyed the topics and also the speakers. So thank you. And I liked all the evaluation part and everything. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Blossom. Thank you for joining us. We now move on to the final session before we end this meeting. Shivani, can you share the certificates, please?
Yeah, I'll do that, Abrar.
Okay, Ashley.
Is it visible?
Not yet.
Now?
Yes, it is.
Yes? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So let's get started. For our best table topic speaker, we had Ashley. Can you change the slide?
Yes. 1 moment, Abrar.
Yes.
My system will finally give up, I guess.
No, but Toastmasters won't. We have guest Toastmaster Jayanti Singh. Toastmaster Jayanti, we will rectify it and we will share the certificate soon with you. For best minor role player, okay, best major role player, we have our general evaluator, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. Congratulations. For a minor role player, the best minor role player is Toastmaster Siona Fernandez, our past division director. And we have a tie here. And we also have our wonderful VPPR, ex-VPPR and our current secretary, Toastmaster Meenal Bale. And a certificate of appreciation to Toastmaster Ashley. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. And and certificate of appreciation to distinguished Toastmaster Kedar Fatke. Thank you, Toastmasters and guests, for joining us. And I officially adjourn this meeting.